Hey everybody, it's Peter. It's Friday night, and that means Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 5, Episode 5, Rewind, starring Fitz. And surprise guest appearance by Lance Hunter. This was a good episode. Hands down, beats out the first four, because I found I didn't even do a review last week. This is good. I'm going to tell you now, this is going to be spoilers. We start off, we're back at the diner, just like we did in the beginning of the season, episode 1. They did the whole thing previously in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So they just backtracked everybody what's going on. We're left at the diner where everybody's like, if we're going to get caught, let's get a good meal in us before we go. That's what Coulson said. So they're all eating their breakfast. They're all talking away. Now it's shot from a different angle. Go down the line and we get down to Gemma and Leopold Fitz. And she's saying, you're just not touching your food. And said, and I think they're probably still, because they just got out of the framework. So I think Fitz is still upset because he was the evil genius in that. Maybe he's still feeling upset about all that. Everything goes black. We think it's cops or whoever to show up. We're seeing the similar angles like we did before. So it was just a total recap of okay, this is what happened. And then boom, when the lights come back on, just Fitz. Not even 30 seconds after Fitz gets up and, oh my God, where did everybody go? The actual authorities show up. So we still don't know who Baldy was from the first episode, who looked like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, but we're finding out in this episode, and I'll explain later. But now it's the actual government agent showing up because they're not introduced at all. They're just nameless people. They grab Fitz, put him in handcuffs. The army shows up, marches him off to some unknown prison cell. They're interrogating him. Okay, what happened? What did you do? What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And then there's this other person comes into the room while he's being interrogated. General Hall, I guess she's taken over since Talbot was killed. So that's where the general coming in, the new General Hall, she's like that. Nope, you're part of S.H.I.E.L.D. and blah, blah, blah. What's going to happen? He said, you know what? I have no idea what's going on. I want to know. I didn't do anything. It's not my problem, but I want to help. He's so friggin' distraught because he just lost his friend. He lost the love of his life, Gemma. Gemma's gone. What happened? So they basically, okay, we're going to lock you up for a while, and they make a deal with him. Okay, you're going to stay in lockup with us. And he says, you know what? I just want books. I want pencils and paper, and I want a TV so I can watch football and watch Liverpool kick the ass of whoever. So that's where it sort of goes. And he's spending all this time. We found out it's about 6 months later. He's been racking his brain, reading this, reading that. It must be this, must be this. He's at his wit's end, doesn't know, and they're still like, you know what happened. You know what's going on. Okay, I have a theory. A wee weak one, but it might be abducted by aliens. And they're like, no. Well, that's all I got. And that's when General Hall comes walking the scene. Nope, that's it. You guys are a bunch of so-and-sos and blah, blah, blah. We don't trust you. And we're going to lock you up and you're going to rot for a very, very long time in our secret prison. And then the phone goes off. It's like, hey, what's going on? What's that? What? And then Hunter comes in, all suit and tie and pair of glasses. And he says, I'm the attorney for Mr. Fitz. And they're like, oh, okay. And then it's quick reunion with Fitz and Hunter. Talk a bit about soccer. Oh, yeah, because I think what got Hunter to come back in, I don't know if he was tracking Fitz or not. They don't really explain it well. But while Fitz was locked up for those 6 months, as well as writing up theories on what happened to the team, he asked if he can just send a correspondence because he's watching his favorite soccer teams. And he doesn't like the calls and all this other stuff going on. So he's just writing complaint letters to Liverpool. I don't know if it's Liverpool or Liverpool United, but anyway, they're hugging and literally almost kissing and talking about soccer. And then Fitz says, I got a brilliant plan. If you bring in stuff over time and maybe I can make something to get out of here. And Hunter's fiddling around with his Fitbit watch, little cursors lining up on his watch, that kind of thing. It says, yeah, can you move over a wee bit that way? Yeah, thanks, stand there. And then boom, wall blows out. Let's make their escape. Actually, we don't find out until later on that Fitz is actually in some secret military prison. Hunter tells him later on. But anyway, make a break for it. Get out of there. Oh, yeah, there's helicopters going to rescue us. You just watch. The best money I could buy. Helicopter crashes. So much for best money you could buy for an escape pilot. But there is a plan B. There's a Winnebago parked at the bottom of the hill. Okay, so Hunter's friend Rusty, who is the supposedly best helicopter pilot out there money can buy, that's his Winnebago. And we find out later the Winnebago is actually tricked out with, for all you conspirators out there, it actually has its own satellite tracking, all sorts of goodies in the back. There's even a margarita machine. And basically just making a run down the road, trying to figure out, okay, what happened at the diner. They finally get some footage. And when you figure what's happening with this truck that's pulling up, and it was supposedly some kind of a beer truck, and you find out later on, actually, whoever owns the truck, and we find out it's the bald agent, who's not really an agent. They were able to track down the agent. So through the miracle of writing and storytelling, Hunter and Fitz end up at the house of Agent Bald Guy. So they confront him in his house. We find out actually his name is Enoch, and he doesn't say, but I'm assuming he might be a watcher, but an active watcher, but something similar to a watcher, because he's saying, he was sent to Earth 30,000 years ago. He's been watching mankind ever since. And when they found out about this prophecy, he was the one who grabbed the gang, put him in front of that time monolith that we saw back in the beginning of the series. And he said, well, how'd you know about this prophecy? And switch over to a little park, and there's a woman, a little girl. Polly is the mother, and Robin. And I didn't notice his last time, but there was a scene from, I think, last year that Sky, Daisy, when she was running around being rogue as Quake, there was a little girl she went up to, and we find out she's an Inhuman. I forget who the father was, but the mother's still alive, taking care of the child, obviously, and Enoch has been watching over the two of them. And her father can see the future, the past, just like, what's his name in Game of Thrones, the Three-Eyed Raven, except she just does rough sketches, that kind of thing. And that's how she predicts the future. But just from what they're able to gather, like, oh, okay, this is what's been happening. And through their investigation, finding out what's going on, Fitz wants to know why he was left behind. They finally get around to that. The reason Fitz was left behind, because his part of the prophecy is, which hasn't happened yet, that he has to go forward in time. So he's left behind because he's going to come to the rescue, like you saw at the end of episode 5. There was a big reveal with the the alien races that are buying up the Inhumans for gladiatorial fighting. He pulls off his little face mask, and it's Fitz, and that's where we left last week's episode. So now we're sort of getting caught up on how this story is going. Oh, okay, he was here. He's going to be sent into the future. 2091. That's where mankind goes kablooey. Which is kind of sad. Only 70 plus years in the future, and we're all going to go hell in a handbasket? We still don't know why, other than previously Deke said it's all Quake's fault. Nice shout out, though, when they finally figure out what's going on and they're hiding out and where things are going. Enoch says that he actually has a special device. It's a capsule that's in hiding, and says, where is it? Well, it's back on the secret base. Well, that's really good. They have to go back to the base that Fitz was held on, because that's where Enoch's capsule is kept. So they effect a rescue, and the ferrets were basically, and there's a release the ferrets. And what it was is the guy Rusty with the Winnebago. They never said what the ferrets were for, but in this case, use the ferrets to release them. They go running around and they start tripping, proximity alarms and all sorts of things. So the base is on alert. While they're on alert, they can sneak past the guards and find the Enoch's capsule. The other thing too, they did find a capsule, and in the same warehouse where they find the capsule, there's a Quinjet. And then there's all this, I guess it's the last bit of SHIELD tech left, because there was crates and whatever else. They open up one of the cases, whole bunch of night guns. So they find a case full of icers. Next thing you know, the guards show up, start shooting at them. And it's just like, Hunter says, hang on a second. Like, Fitz is just like, nah, screw this. And he's just like, don't mess with the Fitz. Oh yeah, again, about not messing with the Fitz. And I missed the spot too. There's quite a few Star Wars callbacks in this too, I guess because Last Jedi's out right now. I'm not 100% sure. I thought there was and if I find it again, I will write it down in the comments when I rewatch this again at midnight. I really want to watch this one again. I think there was a Star Wars reference earlier in the episode by Fitz, but I forget in what context it was. And then there was one where, before the big plan of doing the ferret raid and getting the capsule, Hunter and Fitz were talking when they were hiding out about, Fitz is still concerned about how evil he was in the framework. And Hunter says, well, everybody's got a light and a dark side, that kind of thing. Oh, we're getting all, Jedi Force kind of thing. There's a reference to when they finally get the capsule back to where the hideout is. Oh, this is cool too. The hideout is somewhere, a lighthouse in Lake Ontario. So Ontario, Canada represent. Peace. And then when they get everything back and they talk with Enoch about, okay, what's the plan? Well, we're going to put you in the capsule. Before he says the plan, Fitz already knows, being the scientist that he is, that it's not a space capsule. It's actually a cryo freeze capsule. So they're going to put Fitz inside the capsule. Enoch will put him onto one of his spaceships that he's going to call up. They're going to go some safe planet somewhere else in the galaxy, hang around in orbit for a while, and wait 70 plus years, wake Fitz up, and then we'll be back to where we were at last week's episode. We do all that. He wakes up. Enoch says he has a plan and shows him the mask that we see him pull off from last week. And totally forget what the line was. Something like, are you ready? And it says, yeah, I'm ready, kind of thing. I forget what the line was. But then there's a nice close shot on Fitz's face, and he kind of like scowling a bit at the camera. And I'm like, oh, evil Fitz is ready to kick some butt. I'm not sure if we're going to run another one until the new year or what, but because next week Friday is the 29th, so yeah, regular day of the week, no holidays or anything, so hopefully we'll get episode 7 and see what's going on. But yeah, this is what S.H.I.E.L.D. is. This whole episode is S.H.I.E.L.D. There's a little bit of comedy, lots of action, running around, under fire, the whole thing. Yeah, I was going to joke about it too. This is kind of like, if Christopher Walken was watching, it'd be like, wow, cool show. It's exciting. Things going on. It's frightening. Now I'm liking it. And if we keep going in this direction with the storytelling, be great, because I swear last 3-4 episodes, I was bored to tears. We crammed a lot into this story, and it's brilliant. So, who else is seeing it here? Check it out. Also, too, I'm going to post again the link for Stardust. That's an app for your phone. And you can do quick little 30-minute reviews. So if you like something, not anything, TV, movies, basically it's Snapchat for movie and TV fans. As always, I put it to you guys. What did you guys like? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Again, tell me your thoughts down below. Like, dislike my video. Hit subscribe.